Shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. A double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And the spirit has been heavy lately on the topic of, us Israelites, man, starting the hopeful elect, coming into this power, man, that the Lord has promised our people. Starting with the elect, the Lord has promised his power over the nations, and power, basically just be the rulers and the gods of the earth under Yahweh Shai and King David. This is a part of the promises, that the Lord, promised our forefathers, man. And in this new covenant that we're going to come into in the kingdom, where the Lord is going to put the law in our inward parts, pursuant to Jeremiah 31st chapter, this is where we're going to be made immortals, with new bodies. We're going to shed off these new bodies, become immortals when the Lord comes back to deliver us, and we're going to rule the world over the nations, in righteousness, man, right under Yahweh Shai and King David for an eternity, man. And these other nations are going to benefit from it. The earth is going to benefit from it because it's going to be a righteous rulership and not this wicked rulership that we have in front of us. And, a lot of people can't see past this rulership. That's why a lot of these things, it rubs them the wrong way, because really they're too attached to this world. They're so westernized that they can't see past the things of Babylon the Great, man. Things that America has taught them, which is wickedness, and really, it's complete contrary to the ways of the Heavenly Father. But now is the time that, the Lord is rising up, that remnant of our people who are coming back, to the law, statutes, and commandments, to the understanding of who we are, our heritage. And that's what the elect is going to start with, man. Those 144,000 men, that believed in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and pushed his word, defended the gospel, with their whole heart, as well as the fellow believers, man, the men, women, and children who are believers, and had that faith, man, that unmovable faith. But this is about us coming back into that power. This is a power that, is going to be on a level our people have never seen. The Lord is going to make us greater than we've ever been, and this was his intent from the start. All right, so these other nations, man, they are going into, slavery, man. They're going into slavery right with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because of the atrocities and these and the tumult that they've created with each other to come against the Hebrew Israelites and to keep us down as a nation, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. Matter of fact, let me start with that precept. That I wasn't going to start with that, but let me get that precept to start out, and then we'll go from there. So this is the book of Psalms 83 and verse 3. Matter of fact, Salaki, I'll start at verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut off them. Salakia, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? So all these nations, man, they came together and basically agreed to keep our people at a lower state, man, the lowest state that we are. So the elites of these other nations know we're the Israelites. They know the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans, are the Israelites. And they know the bulk of us, are in Babylon the Great, so on and so forth. So they know these things. Esau, of course, knows the elites, the elite banking families, by by name of the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, the main two, you know, they know for sure, man. They know for sure, and that's why everything they're doing is pretty much going against, you know, what we prophesy, man, which is what the will of the Lord. So they know exactly what they're doing, man. They know, you know, they know who we are. They know, you know, what they're doing when it comes to keeping us down, man. And when it comes to pushing these, you know, these things on our people, man, like, you know, LGBT, the alphabet people, you know, feminism, you know, the processed foods, you know, the gang violence with the rap culture, you know, guns and drugs in the communities, so on and so forth. You know, they do these things. You know, this is all crafty counsel, man. It's all that crafty counsel. So this is why, you know, Esau is obviously the main offender. You know, that's the worst heathen. You know, but these other nations, man, they got to get it too, because they pretty much help this devil, you know, do these things to us, man. They don't call him out on it. They don't, you know, they don't try and basically they don't try and help at all. They're in agreement with it, you know, and also, you know, throughout history, man, these other nations have had our people in captivity as well, you know. So this is how the Lord does things, man. But let's get into you know, us coming back into this power, man. And this is a beautiful thing, man. And this is what we really want. You know, we really want that power. Because once we get that power, man, you know, and the Lord, that power also comes with spiritual power. You know, being able to, you know, actually like do things you see with superheroes, like run as fast as the Flash and not get tired, you know, fly, teleport, you know, super strength, all these things. And these things are written about. You know, I might get a precept on that later, you know, Yasharala, but, you know, the point is really the overall power the Lord is going to give us over the nations. You know, he's going to put us on top of everybody. And we're going to be the most elite nation by far on the planet Earth. And, you know, and really we still are, even at this lower state. We just have no, you know, social economic power. You know, we have no power in the world, and meaning, you know, we can't change nothing. You know, we don't have no military might or no, you know, country or government to really change anything in the world. You know, our land is stolen. So nonetheless, let's hop into these scriptures. This is Revelation 2:26. It reads, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." And the ones that will keep the Lord's works until the end is the elect. The elect is going to believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to the very end. They're going to endure to the very end. You know, they're not going to waver. You know, they're going to do the work. You know, the prophets are going to be on the highways and byways. You know, they're going to, you know, they're going to be doing what the Lord said that, you know, the elect will be doing. You know, they're not going to bow the knee to the image of Baal. You know, they're not going to give in to this devil system, his NWO. You know, no matter how rough things get, they're gonna believe and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to the very end. Verse 27, "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." So the Lord is going to give us that power, man, to rule over them with a rod of iron. You know? So when you go into that word rod, you know, rod of iron, you know, it means a rigorous rule. You know, so because these nations are coming, when the Lord comes back and you know, lifts the elect up, that rule that's going to take place, that 1,000-year period of slavery they got to go through, because 1,000 years is double what they did to us, what the Israelites went through. You know, that 1,000-year rule is going to be a rigorous, you know, is going to be a rigorous rule over them, because we're going to have to basically set them straight with righteousness. Same way, you know, these devils, you know, whipped and beat wickedness out of us, you know, we're not going to do the wicked things they did, like, you know, pop their wives or, you know, feed their kids to alligators and all this other stuff. You know, the wickedness that Esau was doing, you know, it's going to be done righteously, but it still will be terrible for these nations. But we're going to basically beat that righteous standard into them, because that's how the world is now going to be governed, by righteousness. You know, so Moab isn't going to be eating rats. You know, that's we're going to make sure, or, you know, the elect, the hopeful elect, is going to make sure that that's no longer, you know, they don't even think of doing that. Eating abominable foods, you know, committing abominable acts, you know, whatever wickedness these nations do is going to be beaten out of them, because we're going to rule over them with a rod of iron. And as the vessels of a potter, that shall be broken to shivers. So these they're going to be basically broken into that righteous mold, if that makes sense. You know, we're going to make sure that righteousness is beaten into them, man. That they understand that this is what it is now. And, you know, the Israelite, and we're going to have that power, man, that spiritual power, those new bodies. We're going to be like gods, man. So they're going to get in line. And here's the thing, you know, once they get in line and they serve out their sentence and these other nations go dwell in their lands, the world is going to be a much better place. The nations are going to rejoice, except Esau, of course, pursuing Obadiah 1:18. We know the judgment for Esau is to be put out, you know, as a nation, to be done away with as a nation, because, you know, they got to go. You know, that's different, you know, but that's another lesson for another day. But these other nations are going to rejoice, because that rulership is going to be a righteous rulership. And we're going to also get, you know, matter of fact, let's just get it now in Proverbs 29. You know, so, because that rulership that the Israelites are going to have, man, under Yahushua and King David, the whole world is going to rejoice. The earth itself is going to rejoice, because it's going to be done by the guidelines and the blueprint that the Heavenly Fathers made things to be in the first place. All right, so this is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear through, the people mourn. And the people are mourning now, man. Right now, look at the world. Look at the state of the people in the world, man. Suicide rates are through the roof. Divorce rates are rising. People are mourning. People are mourning, man. Because who's in rulership? The wicked. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Malachi 1:4. Esau is the border of wickedness. You know, so these so-called white people, man, that the Lord gave dominion over the earth for our punishment, this thing is coming to an end. This thing is about to be over with. Their kingdom is circling the drain. This wicked rulership is pretty much over with. You know, and that's why we should be rejoicing in these times, because we understand, you know, that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So once Esau's rulership is over, the rulership of the Israelites is coming, man. And that's an everlasting rulership of righteousness, where we as Israelites become immortals. These other nations will not be immortals. They won't be on our level. They never will be. You know, man, our people are going to be back in order. Our women are going to be in order. You know, and they're going to be happy. They're not going to think the way they think now. You know, they're going to be made the most beautiful and top woman on the planet as well, with spiritual power on a level, you know, under the man. And the man is going to be a god on earth under Yahushua and King David. And there's going to be a whole hierarchy throughout the elect, throughout the 144,000, you know, even to your regular Israelites. But they're going to be even your everyday Israelite, you know, a 2/3, for example, that's brought back in the kingdom through the loins of the elect. Because scriptures tell us that all Israel is going to be saved. But that's going to have to be done, you know, through the loins of the elect, because they got to go first. You know, 2/3 has to die first. But even a regular Israelite in the kingdom is going to be a king. You know, and there's going to be levels to it, of course, and that's why we fight for this crown. But, man, our nation is going to be just out of this world, completely out of this world. These other nations aren't going to be close, and they will bow and give us our respect as they should, because the Lord made the earth for our sake. He made us better than everybody else on the planet Earth. Deuteronomy 7:6. So that power is coming, man. That power, that really we need, man. We need that power, man. Because our people are through right now. We're through in this flesh, but with that power in Yahushua, man, the Lord is about to bless us beyond belief. So let's go back to Revelation, the 18th chapter, and I want to start at the 3rd verse. And it reads, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." And that her is referring to the great whore, Babylon the Great, meaning America. And that wine is what? The philosophies that America has pushed on the whole world. These other nations, for the most part, now especially, they're not rocking with America, man. They're not rocking with America, but the influence of Babylon the Great is still in all the other nations throughout the whole earth. Some more than others, but nonetheless, they have listened to this devil and his philosophies, and it's really only caused madness, in their nation. And now they're looking at him all sideways, like, yo, we followed you, and now, this is what's come out of it, is just wickedness and chaos. But that's how Esau's programmed, man. That's all he pushes. And he's greedy, really he does all these things for his gain and his, just his gain. He doesn't care about the people. He's not fit to rule whatsoever. So that's why these nations are mad at him, So let's continue. We'll get into that. Verse 4. It reads, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not her plagues." That's the elect, man. The elect is going to hear that calling, man, and come back into the truth and not be partakers of this world, because this world is a wicked world. We're in the world, we use it, but, we don't abuse the world. We're not indulging in this world and the things that really go on in it, because, we look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, right? So that's the elect. Verse 5, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So double, times two what they did to us is what's coming to them. And we can get into that, but we really know, we don't know everything, because it's a lot that honestly we don't know that they did to our people during, slavery, hardcore slavery, I should say. But they get double, man. Double. These other nations as well, because they follow this devil. The differences of that Obadiah 1:18. Right? So they got it coming, man. And that's why they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep this kingdom up and running and try and achieve their NWO and try to fight against the Lord, because they know, the elites I'm talking about, they know the judgment written for them, but they're trying to fight against it. Little do they know, all they're doing is, the will of the Lord. Nobody can go against the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's why we got to continue to trust and endure and trust, and believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because, man, the blessings written for the elect, it's second to none. There's nothing in this world that we can get that the Lord, that the Lord can't give us, first of all. And the things in the kingdom, this world is good, man. This world is nothing, man. It's nothing. And there are some nice things, But you gotta put this truth first, man. Put Yahweh Shai first in anything you do. So that's our way out, man. That is really our way out. And the blessings, man. The blessings, that power. The power the Lord is gonna bestow on us, man. You want that power. You know, as a man, you want that power. Right? So let's go to Psalms 2:8. And it reads, "Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." And a lot of Jakes, which is crazy, a lot of Israelites have a problem with, basically what's written on how, the elect is gonna, or how Israel in the kingdom is gonna rule over the nations, and they're gonna go into slavery. Like these heathen nations, man, they don't like us. If just because you have a friend of another nation and he's cool, does not mean that nation is cool. And he might even be a Jake, because our seed is spread throughout all nations of the earth. But that is, these heathen nations have, they've had their way with our people, man. They got to pay for it. And the earth is made for our sakes. These other nations were created to serve us. But see, Jake don't have that. They don't have the kingdom mindset, man. They have the slave mindset. There's, like I said, most of our people are just too westernized. They can't see past Babylon the Great and the way things are ran in this world. But the elect definitely can. We can see past it. Because the Lord put that spirit on us to believe, and to really have that spiritual foresight. So the heathen, we're going to have the heathen for an inheritance, man. And that includes heathen women as concubines, man. However we please. Because things are coming back into that order, And the Israelite woman in the kingdom is going to be, again, the top woman in the kingdom. But that doesn't take away the power from the men. The men will have multiple women, because that's how you nation build it. That's the order of things. We're gonna have heathen women that we choose to have as well, man. We're gonna be gods. Spirit. We're gonna be literally gods on earth. And a lot of these women and a lot of these Jakes think, that we're gonna have one woman in the kingdom. They're crazy, man. These people are crazy. They don't have a king mentality. They don't have that, they don't have they're not kingdom minded. But, that's why the elect is the elect. The hopeful elect is the hopeful elect, I should say. And the 2/3 are the 2/3. There's a big separation in mentality, man. Spiritual, obviously, is the first and foremost. The spiritual aspect of understanding the truth is the biggest separator, but it's the mentality that comes with it, man. They don't have it whatsoever, man. They don't have it whatsoever, because, even Esau got a little bit of a kingdom mentality. He looks down on these other nations, especially, the Israelites. But anyway, yeah, man, these heathen nations will be, our slaves in the kingdom, man, our servants. Verse 9, Psalms 2:9, "Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron." Again, so a rigorous rulership, a rigorous rule. "Thou shalt dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel." So there we go, same thing you read in Revelation. So these heathen, man, they will be in subjection in the kingdom. They got to go through that 1,000-year period, and after that, they can go in their lands, and they'll rejoice because of the rulership is going to be a righteous rulership. Whether you can see it now or not, that's how it's going to play out. And the Israelites are going to be the most elite nation on the planet by far. And I don't know why you wouldn't want that, as an Israelite especially. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you not want to be, a God on earth under Yahushua, King David, and then with spiritual power and be immortal? and have servants and have the fatness of the earth, all the women that you would want, being able to enjoy your children, actually, you basically can have anything you want, man. And the Lord is going to bless us, 100-fold with anything we lose on this side, and even more. It tells us that in Matthew, when Yahushua was talking to Peter. So, man, that power that's about to come, man, this is what we're fighting for. That power is going to be something else, man. Really, like the stuff you see in these Marvel movies, DC movies, these animes, which is a lot of the inspiration they get is from the scriptures. Don't get it twisted. Those things are about to be real, man. Those miracles and stuff, you're about to start seeing these things, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Lord is going to make it known who his men are. And he's going to make it known his power, man. People they're going to really see, and we believe it, man. And those who don't believe, that's fine. The unbelief has no effect on the truth. Tells us that in the book of Romans. So, let's continue. So this is 2nd Esdras 6 and 54. It reads, "And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all." So all people, all nations of people come from Adam, right? "And the people also whom thou hast chosen." So all the nations come from Adam, but there's a certain nation, certain seed line that the Lord has chosen out of all those people, which we know are the Israelites, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans today, as well as the Israelite foreigners that look like other nations, but their seed line goes back to that of an Israelite. Verse 55, "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes." Let me read that one more time. "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes." So the Lord made the world for Yasharala, man, for the princes of the power, the Israelites. He made the world for us. Right now we're in, captivity. We're basically, this is our punishment. But our punishment is about to be over. The Lord is about to come lift these curses off of us and put us back on top. Because the earth is made for our sakes, man. This is the Lord. These other nations and the earth was created for us to enjoy. The earth is supposed to be a paradise where we enjoy it, man, as a people serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But you know what? We obviously were disobedient and we fell, man. We fell hard. So now we're at this lowest state, but now the Lord is rising us back up, starting with the elect. So let's see what the Lord has to say about these other nations. Verse 56, "As for the other people, which also came of Adam, thou hast said that they are like nothing, but be like unto spit, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel." So if you have a bucket of water, and say you're walking with it and a drop falls out, that's how the Lord looks at these other nations. They're irrelevant. He does not care about them. He does not care about these other nations, man. They were created to serve us. And here's the thing, man. When people of the world think of, servants, they think of Esau's way of having servants in slavery. When Esau is wicked, man. And like I said, and as the scriptures say, we will rule over them with a rod of iron. They will be bondmen and bondwomen for that 1,000-year period for sure. They're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel that slavery, but it's gonna be righteous. There's a righteous way to do things, which is what people don't understand. They think the Lord is just all love, and they get that madness from Christianity. But the Lord is balanced first and foremost, complete balance. He's everything, balanced out. But there is a righteous way to have slaves, man. And in the kingdom, we're going to exude that, but they will feel that captivity for sure. They will feel it. Verse 57, "And now, O Lord, behold, These heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Right. So this is what happened, man. Throughout history, these heathen, they had their way with us, man, as a nation. Even to this day, they mock us. They don't respect us, look down upon us. Esau obviously, has done the worst, but these other nations as well. Right. Matter of fact, I have one more scripture in Psalms. Let me get one more precept though before I get it. Yep. So this is Isaiah 14, and I'll start at the top. It reads, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers, which are the other nations, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." Right? So let's continue to read. What does it mean by that? "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids." So these other nations will be servants and handmaids. They will be our slaves in the kingdom. "And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." So there you go, man. We're going to rule over our oppressors with a rod of iron, with a rigorous rule, because they deserve it, man. They definitely deserve it. And the Lord made, we are the apple of the Lord's eye at the end of the day, man. And they've tampered and basically, done atrocities to us. So they, and we've brought it on ourselves through the Spirit, of course. But the Lord is showing, He's giving us mercy, man. That's why the first verse in Isaiah 14 we just read says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel." So the Lord is having mercy on us, man. He's the one doing all of this. But this is what's gonna happen, man. These other nations will be our slaves, man, because we're gonna have that power. It goes back to that power. We're gonna have all the power in the world, spiritual power, riches. We're going to be like celebrities, but on a higher level. When someone sees an Israelite, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, like, that's the son of the Most High. That's an Israelite." Even a regular Israelite, they're going to look like they're going to be kings on a lower level, really a high level, but to the other, it's just the power and the status and the level we're going to be on is just, it's out of this world, man. Like a regular Israelite, an everyday Israelite, like I said, they're going to be kings. They're going to be living better and have more riches than a Rothschild on this side. And the Rothschilds, they're trillionaires, man. They own everything. So how much more, those elect 104 for governing body under Yahushua and King David? These people aren't even going to have access to seeing us and whatnot. It's good, but it's going to be, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Yahweh Ratazah, man, those of us that are sincere, man, pushing this word. So pushing this word, we are the hopeful elect, but let me get one more precept and close it out, man, because it's getting a little lengthy. But this is Psalms 82:5. It reads, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course because of who is ruling, Esau, Edom. And I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations." So we are going to be like gods, man. The Lord said we are gods. He's going to make us like gods. We're dying like men now because we went off, but He's coming back to give us that power, man, over the nations. So Lord's word is edifying, man, to the elect. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball, man. Repent, man. The Lord is about to give us that power. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Experts who are analyzing these images say, quote, "This is clearly an extraordinary event. Police can't provide any further details."
In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them.
Reports have been coming in that our flying man attacked a car this morning. 2 people were found dead inside. Seems as if he had demonstrated.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run